Hello everybody and welcome back here. We're here for match 2 of the Farm4Fame 3.1 final. Not considered the grand final. There's a lot of tournaments that do make up the Farm4Fame. This is the first of just many, but this is one hell of a game. Our first match went for a pretty epic time, and MYM fighting to the end, but not able to actually come out on top. Navi did claim the first game. Sorry, spoiler alert, massive one. We are into our second game though, so without further ado, we'll put it up on the screen for everybody. So we do have a switch around, so Navi will head towards the Scourge side, MYM playing for the Sentinel side. Will Navi take this 2-0? We will find out in, well, a little bit of moments. People actually saying, oh, the game's up, the game's up. I know, I'm actually inside the game this time around. The boys that switched from RGC, they had a little bit of troubles with the hosts. I believe actually on a French host. And they were spiking like an absolute biatch. So they said, you know what, we'll go back to Garena, and we are in a room that nobody knows which one it actually is. No password on it, so if you can track me down, well done. Alright, so let's get ourselves into the bands to pick so far. Malcolm moving out Invoker as well as Weaver, so exactly the same bands he had before. Navi removing out Pugner and actually adding Batrider to the list. So Batrider was actually featuring very, very strong in our last game as that great initiator, and then bans out one hero he actually took himself. So Visage is now in the ban pool, and Malcolm's like, you know what, I don't want to see Weaver, I don't want to see AA. You didn't ban him in the first 3, and especially with Navi having the first pick here. In the second game, he did not want Ancient Apparition thrown into the lineup. So AA as well as Weaver being removed from the lineup. I'd like to give a massive, massive shout out and a toast as well, a toast of Red Bull at this time of the morning to everybody who has made their way over to the cybergamertv.com/TV webpage. You don't need the /TV if you want to go on the main page. For everyone who's actually there on the live chat, for Sequential Art, Crasher as well. I'm not, oh crap, I'm the saver in this game, aren't I? Lol. Lol saves that, nice troll. Alright, cool. So yes, we will be in our game for this one, and well done to all the boys who actually made over there. I didn't get to drink my toast for you, sorry guys. What keeps a caster awake at 5:30 in the morning? Alright, so we do have our first pick coming out from Navi. Wow, great to see it. ES. He's my favourite hero at the moment. Like, really, really favourite hero at the moment. I love it. We'll actually be there, as well as VS. Windrunner making it through the ban pool, so Mox picked him up as well as Clockwork Goblin. So Clockwork Goblin was in the hands of Navi last time. This time around, Malk would actually like to say, you know what? My team, Clockwork Goblin, you come here. You know, the little kid with the glasses in the corner who has, like, one limp leg, and you're like, ooh, who do I pick for soccer? In this case, Clockwork Goblin is like the big butchy kind of guy. It's like, yeah, you can come because everyone's scared crapless of you. So Clockwork Goblin will begin here for this match in the hands of MYM. Art styles, great to actually see them with their real names on too now, because obviously we're back over at Garena, so the names will actually change. So King J, King M, all that kind of jazz is all out the door. You can actually see for the real, it is Milk as the captain of MYM. First 3 picks coming out from R-Styles being Puck, ES, as well as VS. Now, ES and VS are basically known as the best roaming ganking team possible. VS with his ability to actually stun, drop the armor. ES with his ability to drop down that feature and basically lock them in place and give them all the time in the world to actually hit on top of it. And even then, ES does actually have a double stun, which does come through the totem, as well as... oh, well, the aftershock, of course. As well as his main one, which is the fissure over the top. Puck, great disables you get out of him with his ability to actually escape in a lot of fights as well. So the ability to actually illusionary orb and then ethereal draw himself back out of it is a very, very great thing for the tri lanes. Very, very good for when you're getting ganked mainly. So as far as being a solo hero, he's an awesome one for that one. More than likely going to be that solo as well. With the lineup you see from Navi, they already got ES, VS. More than likely, they will be a support hero group. So might see, we saw in our last game the tri-lane went on tri-lane on the top lane. So this time around, I'm probably more predicting that might not actually happen. I got a funny feeling that ES and VS will go down towards the bottom lane and go with an aggressive hero. Not to pick up as the last hero, SF. So he's literally shown his hand already. You got Windrunner, SF, as well as Clockwork Goblin. So your 3 main heroes, they'll go support after that point. And Navi instantly saw that too. So Wish Doctor being banned out from the lineup. We do actually see Razor as well as CM coming out too, so Navi removing any possibility of any hero which Melk would probably want. And I think Melk would actually plan for that too. Melk is a very, very smart ban. He'll go, you know what? I've already got my 3 mains. I already know who I want to go for my support. So as far as like this lineup goes, you can ban whatever you want. Pretty sure you're going to ban Witch Doctor and CM anyway. CM would be banned instantly for her aura, basically because there'll be nothing but rockets flying at you. SF would have all the mana he wants for his razors as well, and Winter will be firing off power shots left, right, centre as well. So remove her aura. Witch Doctor, no early stones. The burst damage you get with the Maledict on top of it as well. That'll be easy enough to kill anybody in the middle lane. Great hero to take out. Melk decided to remove one of the big carries, which we've seen a little bit of late, but not massively of late. Razor. He has been removed. He is a very, very tanky hero and great DPS hero as well. That is one thing which art style is actually missing at the moment, is big DPS as well as that tank ability. And Melk actually moving out SK. Interesting of that one. Oh, wow. Enchantress coming up instantly. Art style says, you know what? I got a jungler. We're going to jungler. That's it. And wow, that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that top lane actually goes now, and how MYM are going to do this. Like, who are they going to send towards the top lane? Obviously, you're not going to be able to get anywhere near that top lane. Enchantress will have her own little army she'll take care of and basically just dominate that top lane. Or possibly bottom lane. We'll find out. Anyway, Melk, he does have a lot of time on his hands. Both teams not really wasting a lot of time for the draft. It's basically 14 to 81 is the time he actually had left at that point. I started saying that. So there's a lot of time up his sleeve. And Alchemist is now coming out as well. Now, this is an interesting pick. This is almost reminding me of a classic MYM lineup. This is back in the days when MYM only really just formed, when I say really just formed as a team, they've been around for a very long time. But with their current roster, that they'd actually play Alchemist as a support hero. We talked about before as well, in our first game, the fact that basically some heroes, they're capable of playing multiple parts. So they can either be an aggressive attacker, they can be the ganker in other words, they can be that great support stunner, or they can basically be that great farmer. Alchemist can actually be both, Alchemist or 3. He is aggressive, he has his stun on top of him, and wow, really? Okay, cool, fair enough. Leshrac is actually the Tormented Soul. Came out as our last pick for the Scourge side. And Jakira, the twin-headed dragon, or Jakira, it sounds like more like Shakira when I say it that way, but no, it is not wiggling your ass. It has actually 2 heads, and it's a twin-headed dragon. Massive amounts of damage and burst damage can come out from this guy, but more importantly, it's a wall of frost that will come out from this one. And guys, I can't write speed forward, I'm actually inside the game. Twits. I'm actually caught up to the game, so if you're watching the YTV stream going, oh brew, I'm ahead of you, that's not really going to be the case. Alright, so we are going to roll ourselves out from this one. Clockwork Goblin fires off that rocket already, wants to see it's going to be Enchantress, even that timing being perfect to actually tag Enchantress on her way out, so already having to regen her own health. Oh, the humility, the humility. Who's playing who is going to be the big thing? Artstyle's playing as Enchantress. We do actually have 818, that is not the real name of it. Puck playing on the what's going to be the bottom lane solid right now with Enchantress being discovered. It's already changed. Navi 333 playing the middle lane, that is Tormented Soul, Holy Master, if you are tuning in. Basically let me know. 555 up there on the top lane, playing for the Earthshaker. 397 for Vengeful Spirit up there on the top. I'm just going to call you by your actual hero names, guys. No offense. There's King A there in the middle lane, so Shadow Fiend deciding I should keep up with the King tag. Melk will be playing as our Clockwork Goblin, heading up towards that top lane. He'll be going up against that tri-lane, or at least the dual lane at the moment, up there on the top lane, which is the VS-ES combination. We do actually have our big man. I'm not going to say he's big, but it is actually Pusher, playing as our twin-headed dragon. Pusher being one of the most respected support heroes in the game. Windrunner will be down there on the bottom end. Looks like Alchemist will be the main one they're going to put the farm on top of, and Windrunner will be playing Shackle, Power, Harass, Support from the sides of the trees. And that's actually going to make it impossible for Puck to actually get any form of farm. So Tormented Soul will be going up against SF there in the mid lane. Enchantress already started her campaign. Even then VS already started his campaign up there against Melk up there on the top lane. Very hard for Melk to actually harass the Vengeful Spirit back with the range attack, obviously. So they're going to put a little bit of pressure, a little bit of farm into 555 up here on the top lane. The Earthshaker out of this entire first wave. Actually, we'll see how many he's actually got from that one. He's got 3, make it 4 out of the 5 possible for that top lane. So get as much fun on top of this Earthshaker as possible, get him up on those levels, and more importantly, probably, you're going to actually see a lot of pressure being applied through the thing of it called a Blink Dagger. Leshrac really being aggressive up against Shadowfiend there in the middle lane, just trying to stun him out there. It's a lot of level 1 abilities going out, but not costing very little mana, so not really too concerned too much about that one. Enchantress now ready to push out this top lane. ES coming on down. Artstyles quite happy to push out. Now he's got 2 heroes. So the Wilkins, nothing like stacking up the aura. The unholy aura. Let's see how much damage they can actually do this creep wave. In fact, more than likely Artstyles will go a little bit past this creep wave just to push Melk back right now as they do attack the tower off. One big tornado will take care of anything on that wave, and now even pulling the wave down. 555 coming down, and that tier 1 tower will die here in the first couple of minutes. Fissure does go off, tagging Melk on the backside too, so we will see Pusher come towards this top lane to give a bit of a hand, but there is nothing they can do. Tier 1 tower already dead, so Navi, as you normally see with a neutral being around there, quite happy to push on through. You can put everything down, and oh, sorry boys, I just realised that I haven't done that for you. Chat. Thank you very much for the chatter. So I apologise for everyone who's trying to be listening in for the first couple of minutes of this conversation. They don't want to see my face apparently. I don't want to see my face either. But that has actually brought around our first tier 1 tower going down. I apologise for that, guys. My bad. My bad. You can see me apologising on the stream, but no, because we're on full screen. All right, so. Instead of actually only seeing this part, that's all you would have been seeing. You would have seen this top box. So if you can basically just imagine with your mind. Anyway, top tier 1 tower has gone down. That is what was here. Clockwork Goblin is coming back up towards the top lane right now. Melk has been put back there, and I love how he's more concerned about the full screen of Warcraft 3 instead of actually me actually saving the game, which I will do in just a moment too. We have had the tier 1 tower go down. Pluck Illusory Orbing over the top there, trying to get any farm he can. Not actually getting enough of it there. He's just getting his timing wrong a little bit there to get those last hits. You've got to use that Illusory Orb, not only to harass the heroes down, but to get those last hits. Enchantress having a bit of fun here in the middle lane around SF. We have seen Jakiro has actually moved himself, the Twin-Headed Dragon, in towards that middle lane. Looking for a little bit of an opening. Troll Warlord will now tank it for the team. He should actually die that clear wave. Won't give any gold off to anyone though, because obviously they only the creep wave attacking off there, so it's not actually belonging to any hero. We don't have a Furion on the match on the field. Jakiro actually now getting the frost out on top of Enchantress. Power shot over the top. Can't get the shackle shot to hold Artstyles in place just yet, or maybe he can. One couple of hit. Is it going to be another one? No, there's not. No, there's not. Oh, yes, he will. Artstyles thought he might run back into that one, and that could have been a bit of a big mistake. Power shot goes over the top. Nice little twinkle toes work there by Artstyles. Manages to avoid the attack, so we'll be fine, apart from SF now coming on down. So SF there to get, pick up that DD rune. That's why he emptied out his bottle, so he's all ready to push out. Probably going to push out this bottom lane if they possibly can. Windrunner moving himself on down. Alchemist having a great old time. Mania not really having anything to discourage him from farming up. Culling Blade, so plus 33%, 32% bonus damage to the crit wave, which will assist him even more than Goblin's Greed. And people saying how long till I actually figure it out. Everyone should have actually... It's a chat lagging. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, well done. Just keep spamming that up for a little bit longer. But we are 5 minutes into this game now, and SF ready to push out this mid lane. DD Rune sitting on top of him, so we would like to give a bit of a little bit back to TS, the Tormented Soul, who is making King A's life a bit of a living hell there in the mid lane. Enchantress still farming up, only level 2 at the moment. Has actually pushed out the tier 1 tower. The only real thing that she's managed to claim so far has moved all the way down from the top of the map to the bottom of the map, back up towards the top of the map, and hasn't had any farm in the meantime. So now's the time to actually get a couple off, and pulls off one of the Wilkins. So looking to actually initiate up here on the top lane. ES and VS still having a little bit more fun. ES managed to buy up Arcane Boot so far, so everyone has mana to spend. Not that much, not as effective as a Soul Ring. But as far as it goes, if he wants to actually rush up towards the Blink Dagger, not a bad option for him. And yes, I have been forgetting a lot. Puck, stop harassing me in the chat, boys. A18 tries to get himself back out, face shifting and illusory orbing out, power shot, just missing on the back of Puck. But could have actually locked him in place if they managed to get that shackle off a little bit longer. Stuns needs to last just that tiny little bit longer. Top lane now being pushed out here by Artstyle, so heal coming off from Enchantress will keep ES as well as Creepwave alive. Is Creepwave tanking that tower a hell of a lot, just trying to give him buy himself a little bit of time to attack that wave off. ES Fissure slowing down the wave as well as Melk himself. Arcane Boost going off once again, keeping that mana up. Doesn't lose a single charge point on that one. The tier 2 tower should die from here. Roar goes off, Flame Breath goes out as well. Magic Missile once again is holding Melk back. Fisher goes off as well, just holding Jakiro back for the moment. Do they have enough to actually kill off this tower? More than likely, we should see a deny coming out. VS will die to the tower as well, and that's actually the first blood. Oh my Roffle. Artstyles will now fall back. The tower was actually destroyed by Artstyles, but VS is actually the first blood. And we will see the fallback from both teams. Bit of a lag up every single time we go for the save game. Have to clean out my save box once again. Getting nice and full, but we do have the save game at 7 minutes on the dot. And at least, boys, didn't miss first blood. That's what it's all about. Enchantress will probably try and hold out this top lane for just the moment. With Melk falling himself back once again. Can't get close enough to get any sort of farm right now. TP's going to come in towards the mid, so TS back in towards the mid. Tormented Soul will be very interested to actually see how he actually goes later on this game as well. As well as Puck, we'll see how far behind levels they actually are. Looks like a gank up there on the top lane. SF must have actually left that mid lane for a little bit and managed to actually kill off 555, so that's what I get for claiming first blood. Way, as well as copying that one up the nose. 2-0 is where we're currently sitting in favour of MYM. They didn't get the first match. They want to try and get this second one off. Now Navi want to push out this mid lane. Tier 1 tower is their game. Heal is up at the moment from Artstyles. It's only going to be a level 1, possibly level 2 heal. Hey, apologies, trying to lean myself away from the mic. SF comes in, gets Magic Missile. They can focus him down right now. Can TS actually followed up with a stun as well? King A trying to follow himself back right now. The Roar is there. The stun is there as well. Magic Missile will be off cooldown, but they don't need it. 397 does manage to get the last hit down. So King A does take it forward. T1 tower on the mid lane does go down as well. Windrunner Alchemist trying to push out this bottom lane too. Gonna be careful of how much farm this Alchemist is getting. He'll get himself beyond control a little bit later on the game. Puck is still hanging around trying to get the last hit on the tower there. And actually doesn't get the last hit. And almost managed to get himself killed, getting in nice and close. But does actually jump himself down to 23 HP. TS now on that bottom lane. It does have that invis up. Going to look for a bit of a stun kill there. Support is there as well. VS now coming down. So TS, VS. How they're going to go is all about the Yesh Bush coming through. Miguel gets pushed up. Great stun. Lightning comes from above. And 333 does manage to get another kill there. Makes it 2 for 2. Chemical Rage Alchemist goes for the stun there on the Vengeful Spirit. SF is in the range as well. Big spike coming out for just a moment. Just long enough for the Rays to actually just miss there, so Vengeful Spirit can move himself back out again. But 2-2 is where we're currently sitting. Tier 1 tower has gone down. Last save was a couple of minutes ago, but we should be okay for the next big thing to happen in the match before we go for another save. It appears everyone's actually pretty stable, apart from me spiking a little bit. So 333 happy to actually push out that bottom lane by himself, get a little bit of farm. Switching from that middle lane, who's going to go towards the middle. Looks like Puck wants a little bit of time by herself to think about her own thoughts. Couple of extra wards out there for Jakiro, trying to keep out with his map control. Pusher, where's his wards at the moment? Keeping very aggressive. Artstyle watching out that rune. Pusher really just watching off from that side. Wants to know the second that our bottom lane is going to get ganked. Interesting ward position as well, just watching around this the top of the river, even though you can basically see most of that from the ward position here, and that also gives you vision of the rune. I say here, I mean just on the edge here. But there is a haste rune, which is now in vision, and Pusher's already got a ward there for as well. How dare I question Pusher? He can see everything. He can see absolutely everything. As we do actually see the man himself just coming down there, a little bit closer to SF. 333 wants to move himself up right past the wards, knows someone is coming, so instead just moving themselves back. There's wards freaking everywhere, keeping tabs on every single movement of every single team. There is nowhere to hide, nowhere to run to. ES getting a bit of a heal up here on the top lane by Artstyles. Is he up on his Blink Dagger just yet? We do have something flying out right now. It is, in fact, a Blink Dagger. Surprising he didn't actually buy it at the store, but the Fissure goes off on top. Malik is there. Shackle Shot holding in place. Oh, it was almost bait from himself. He managed to get the cogs off just in time, but he was not enough damage to not enough life to sustain against an Enchantress as well as Jakiro. And now trying to fall himself in Fissure. Miguel will take a fall. 333, so much damage. Will they get the stun now? Big leap and Blink Dagger just flying in at the right time, but wasn't fast enough to actually get the damage off. And also 818 picking up King A there in the middle lane, so VS teaming up in that mid lane. So Navi managed to claim 3 MYM lives very, very fast there. With Alchemist as well as Jakiro being the only ones left to survive from that one. So Alchemist now running himself down from that bottom lane. He's now realising he's one of, he was one of 2 heroes left alive. He's now almost rejoined by his entire team. Coming a little bit closer towards was now a completed Vanguard. Boots also out for him as well. A little bit of little speed, a little bit of extra life, allowing himself to get in there. I gotta say, I do really love this lineup from Navi at the moment. They've got a great amount of stun, balanced it with a good amount of damage, and then the heal that comes out from Enchantress. Not to mention the support that also comes out from her Creep Wave. They've really claimed a lot of map position, and it looks like they're going to head themselves down to get that tier 1 tower on that bottom lane. Either that or try and actually get this Alchemist, who is actually currently free farming. DD Rune, if that gets on top of Enchantress, more than likely going to be thrown into yep, there it is, TS's bottle. Enchantress gets basically a lot of her damage there from her abilities. ES and VS have rotated down towards the bottom lane as well. MYM, I think there's a bit of an opportunity to push on this mid lane. Couple of Razors there, trying to get in range of Puck, who can hold them off from this mid lane as long as she possibly wants. 3 heroes though attacking this tier 1 tower. Literally all flies over the top will wipe out most of this Creep Wave, or at least damage them down, where it's going to be hard to actually keep this attack going for too long. While Navi ready to push out this tier 1 tower. TP now going out from the mid. ES wants to come towards the mid. Puck hold. He's actually dropped now. Melk caught in place. Fissure goes off. Jakiro is the target. He's the first one to go down. So Pusher is the first one to actually take a fall. Malik is currently caught on the back of Magic Missile until the swap comes up. Brings it back up on the high ground. And the Creep is actually the last one that gets the kill on Melk as he tried to fall back from that middle lane. Obviously very, very hard to fall back when you get swapped yourself out into the damage area. TS now pops off the DD. Gets a big, big range stun there. Just catching Miguel on the retreat. Can now push out this bottom lane nice and hard. Even just sitting there inside the Toxic Spray, not even caring about it. The Jangos are there, and now the Alchemist trying to come up here. Enchantress will try and make the most of this one. ES going to come in from the backside as well. Miguel already getting done from the side. ES dropped the Fissure in, locking him in place, and now they're going to fight right on top of the tower, taking it up while they go for Mania, who's trying to eat his way through the trees. TP support is on the way in. ES Oldie wants to make sure he got him down nice and fast. In fact, actually from 333, but Puck is already now in the mix as well, just pushing out this lane, and that was a very, very smart cancel of the TP. While 333 taking out the tower, they're quite happy to actually damage this tower off. VS also doing a little bit from the backside. All 5 heroes here for Navi, pushing on that bottom lane. Support is just hanging around the corner there from Pusher. The Roar came through. You had to be careful not to be actually seen just then. In fact, the Illusionary Orb almost jumped itself over the top. There goes the tier 1 tower. And a lot of damage. Big Frost over the top. It wasn't enough to actually get the stun off here, but 333 should fall himself back nice and fast. Even then, ES on a B-stick of HP. Will now all retreat themselves back here. Jakiro now getting Magic Missile out. Could follow up with a stun. They might bring him down even on this low HP. They have more than enough damage to bring him down, but not before Melk actually managed to get one with a rocket, which he did fire off, and 3 to 10 is currently where they actually sit. Claiming out 555's life. Earthshaker was on a B-stick of health anyway, and 1 rocket was all you actually needed. That's why you can never run back straight when you get a Clockwork Goblin in the mix. He'll always know where to pop off that rocket. Even Vengeful Spirit right now, you'd expect to see like a rocket pop off from him, from Clockwork Goblin. Just checking where they're going, but this time Malik not wanting to go fishing in a barrel. And VS will manage to actually retreat himself out. 3 to 10. DD Rune has been picked up by Clockwork Goblin, so I might think about harassing this tier 1 tower down a little bit. Gotta be careful, the TP support will only be a blink away. I say a blink away for a great segment into the fact that Puck actually has a blink. Oh, snap. ES also with the blink, so great initiation all around for Navi. The carry's farmed up from the mid lane, Enchantress are getting stronger as well. Map control is going Navi's way. Even though they have lost 2 tier 1 towers themselves, they've claimed every single one of MYM's as well as the tier 2 on the top lane. haven't got to the tier 2 towers in the other lanes, but Navi, whenever they decide to push, it appears to be that it's just basically, you know what, all fivers, now, let's go. Clockwork Goblin, Malk, possibly. He was using himself as bait just then. He had SF Chikiro as well as Windrunner just up his sleeve, and Navi not actually taking it. Will that be fine? ES using that Fissure and Totem just to farm up a little bit more. Save game actually coming up from Malk, 15 minutes into it. Doesn't want to lose anything from here. Quite happy to save the game himself. And this is looking a little bit, if you're an MYM fan, Sync Limit possibly. If we did lose 333, this is going to be a little bit disastrous here for Navi. Because I don't want to have to load off a different point. He does actually stop lagging, so we're going to be okay. And, whoop, actually does time out. So the save game did come before he did actually time out. So should be okay to actually load in. So we will actually go back out and try and load ourselves back into this game. So we will actually have another load. So pause is going to come out here. So we will actually have our good old admin who is currently sitting in here, making sure everything goes smoothly. Even though I was actually talking, the teams are actually doing everything. It's like, sure, okay, we need 5 players. Call from our styles. Yeah, probably need to actually have 5 players in the game to actually win this game. 3 to 10, they're already in a great position here. Last save game did come out about 8 minutes time, so it was literally half the game ago. But we will quit ourselves out of this one and rejoin in. So far into the game, though, Navi have a very, very commanding position. As I just realised I loaded up into the wrong game. Who has VARC TV still open? I still have VARC TV open. Just disconnect from that one. Jump myself back out of the game, so when we actually join up with the host bot, that would be a good thing to actually do. And then we can actually get this game underway, which we've already started. It's the second game of the Farm4Fame 3.1. Which has been pretty action-packed so far. As far as this game goes, there's been not as many group fights as last time. A lot of last time was very, very to-and-fro kind of action. At the moment, MYM, they've been just trying to get that farm up. Alchemist is going to be their big, big key later on in this game to see if he can really be powerful enough to carry them through. Still no host of the game coming up, so we'll actually just jump ourselves to our beautiful CyberGamer TV banner. Might also, just as they're trying to work out what's going on, we will also just split up the VOD here. So we'll just have a bit of a break for the live stream, and we'll be back in just a moment with part 2 for your VOD if you're watching off YouTube. And yeah, it'll be for. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, we're into the game. We're good. Never mind. Never mind. We do have the game, so we're fine. So the game is rehosted back up again. So we just have to see if it's the oldest one, if he actually gets back now. Obviously, Navi don't want to lose a single bit right now. All of MYM managed to get themselves into this game. Navi want to make sure they can get themselves into the game as well. We've got Art Stars and 818. These are not the biggest one we're waiting for. It was 333 that actually lagged out. So much should be 4 numbers is the only call they can actually have. So yeah, we will have a bit of a sound break for you, but don't worry, you can still actually have it up on the main screen. This cast is just going to rest his voice for just a moment. It does actually look like he doesn't have the latest save game, so we'll be loading up our older version of it, the one from the 7 minutes. So there's going to be a while back, which is not really cool. But yeah, couldn't see that one coming. But we will load ourselves back into 6.71B. But hard to actually say the version name. But loading ourselves into it. So it will be 7 minutes just after a couple of the towers actually went down. Big pushes and a lot of the battles on the bottom lane will now basically play out a little bit differently. This is what happens when you do have DCs and the save game changes. It was a Navi player that disconnected, so as far as who is actually who's actually being affected more by it, Navi definitely being the ones. They're going to be set back a hell of a long way. King A just lagging for just a moment too as we let ourselves back into the game. But we actually back to one apiece, 1 kill apiece. So it was a long time ago at the 7 minute here. King A having a hell of a lot of issues actually. So all the big kills have actually gone. King A, well, looks like we might have actually lost him for just a moment. Malik is just like, hang on, what the hell's going on? So he's actually still talking on vent, so he's fine. So everything's going to be okay. We're going to have, like, freaking hardcore saves now coming out just to make sure we don't lose anything. So let's see how we actually go. TS, he was the one that actually started off the big killing spree, moving from that mid lane, moving down into the other lanes, nice and hard and fast. Tier 1 towers, all still up right now for Navi. We did see that push coming through in that mid lane before. As far as towers go, there's only literally one thing difference between now and the save game. And that was the fact the Tier 1 tower on the top died about the 13-minute mark, and the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane actually died. It was actually not too far off from this point. But yes, we will see if the same events do actually unfold. At this point, we can actually go back to where we are for the CS scores as well. Kicking off the game so far, Mania, 42 for 4. That is 1 farmed up. Alchemist, 32 for 12, sitting on the back of the Shadow Fiend, who was going mid-solo. And basically, only other one I've noticed 11 for 4, and that is Melk, who has been basically soloing up the top lane. Has got 1 assist. Rockets will let you do that. But yeah, it's not looking absolutely amazing for the boys. VS just showing up the illusion rune up there on the top lane. While Art Styles continues to actually farm up. Art Styles was moving a lot between the lanes, just looking for kills before. Itchy to see if he just decides to focus a little bit more on farming and then just keep that harassment on that top lane going. Lightning Storm, just so easy for Leshrac to actually farm there in the mid lane. Malik, gotta be careful. Enchantress heading up towards that top lane. More support as well going to come out from VS. ES pops off the fissure already, just trying to actually delay Malik's run out from this top lane. Unfortunately, he won't have this fidget to actually lock him in place anymore, so Big Oldie, though, should actually do it. So Malk will actually get ganked up here on the top lane and will actually go down. He tried to actually claim ES's life. ES going down very, very low on HP. Not able to actually do so. So that is our first, our second blood. Our first official blood, actually, because the first blood did actually come on that top lane when we actually saw one of the Navi boys. I think it was actually VS getting nailed by the tower. So that's actually our first official hero kill blood to come on through. Shackle shot attempted there in the middle lane on top of Leshrac. Bottom lane, more support coming through. Jakira just putting out of a frost there, trying to slow down 818 down there in the bottom lane. Rocket flying up there towards the top lane. Arcane Booth can put on Earthshaker. That's exactly what he had last time. Still just trying to farm that Bling Dagger. He's almost up to that. That was his second item. He's only 100 gold away from completing it right now. Parker Lootering Orbing down the bottom lane, just trying to get whatever farm he possibly can. There's King A just lagging up once again. Thinking about saving, but looks like we've got a couple of, a little bit of movement down towards that bottom lane. They might have a go out the bottom lane. This is what happened last time. TS left the lane. He picked up an Invis rune last time, was able to get that initiation off straight away. This time it is actually going to be the Illusion rune, just forcing those Scourge those Sentinel heroes back here. So now Leshrac does have those illusions, ready to actually go off. Puck has his own ones up as well. He had his stored up in the bottle. So Alchemist just throwing down the Toxic Spray, wants to go for the initiation down here on the bottom lane. TS doesn't want to have to leave that mid lane for any extended time, bar for the fact that VS actually now getting farmed up a little bit. But she's going to be pretty happy about, want to get him up to level 6 as fast as they possibly can. Looks like Puck was thinking about using his illusions to slow down the creep wave. Not going to happen. TP support going to come in towards the mid lane right now. There's 3 heroes lining up here for Navi, ready to push it down. Clockwork Goblin free farming up here on the top lane. Not something they wish to actually promote at all. TS and Puck still down on that bottom lane. Will they be able to push out this mid lane? Will the gank come through? Big power shot right over the top of VS's head. And pushing on this tier 1 tower. They want to try and claim this tower. That's exactly what they did last time. Navi want that map control. They're not going to be able to get it off with this one. As our 555 lagging up once again. 1 apiece. This is not what we want to see. So we might have a lot of disconnection issues here for 555. 4 minutes into this reload of it as well.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, so we do actually get the save game out just in time. Milk with a good bit of a joke there. That's why I actually stopped. I can't type. That's a good thing they're not Croatian. Alright, so 11 minutes and 24 seconds into it. It's a good day to play for Milk. It's 2 weeks after the day was supposed to be playing this. A very, very, very long delay here for the Farm4Fame 3.1 final. So we do actually see there's a little bit more lag coming out from King A. So if he does disappear, we do actually have that save game to actually go on. So is he on fan? It's just still the call coming out to see if he actually has lost his proper internet connection here. And he has routing issues with Mania by the sounds of it. So try Pusher as a host is going to be the call. So we have to re-host the game with Pusher as our main host. And then we'll see if we can actually get through a little bit more of this game. At least we're not jumping back another 4 minutes. So we do lose King A, and everyone will actually jump out of the game. Pusher will host up, and we'll restart this game up. So Pusher already re-hosting, so nothing like fast speed to get ourselves into what will now be our third reload. Yeah, pinging up in the 1200s. Wow, that's pretty good. It is amazing, however, though, like every single time I watch a match, it's completely smooth. Apart from that one time. There was one time it lagged like an absolute mofo. Alright, so we need one more player to actually rejoin right now. R-Stars397-333-818. We're missing, I think, 555 out of that lineup, and then we actually have all our boys from from Navi back in again. Oh, I'm stuck in the ADC world. Push having a great time just beating up on the Australians. Alright, so 555 is now back again, so he has had a couple of issues, so 555 is not happy about it. King A actually leaving out the game as well. He was actually our last one to actually lag out of the game. Not just saying it's obviously, for people who are reading this chat right now, I think Melk has literally just made his opinions on RGC very, very well known. Yeah, so interesting. Very, very interesting. We do actually have our admin, Barnett, who is rejoined back in again. He's not the last one again, so he's probably have to re-log into the game just to make sure the ITV doesn't actually like crash out here. Main reason he actually joined late, but it looks like he actually had to tunnel the host, so couldn't actually see Pusher properly. So yeah, nothing like Arena. Nothing like Arena. It's that classic old system which we've all come to love and hate. Yes, at least it's not called Gay Arena anymore. Not that I'm going to start that craze again. King A now rejoined into the game, so we should be able to start this one up. And actually hit the start button. Would be good. Pusher asking if we're ready. Navi should say, yep, go. 397, all ready to go. And countdown starts for the relog. We're going to come back into the game at 11 minutes. Is where we sit. We've had 40 minutes of this game too so far. We're only 11 minutes into this game. The band's ball did take a little bit out of time. But that's it. As we will now load ourselves into version 6.71b. It is Ice Frog presents Dota Defense of the Ancients. Reading what I actually say, that's not true what I said. There goes our balance. A bit of a glitch on the water on the reload, but we are good to actually go. So we do actually leave this game exactly where we left it off. So we do have 3 heroes rallying to defend the mid. And speaking of where we left off, King A is now lagging up again. So Malk having a great old time here, just going, oh my lord, my players suck. So it's all about the host. It's all about everything just not going their way. Final Flash, you don't have the code for King A. There is Demon, Pusher, Playmate, Milk, and Misery inside the game. So King A, we don't actually know who he is. His code, I don't know. It's the question. Nothing like getting this game up and running beautifully again. We will actually go to a short break here on the VOD, just so everyone doesn't go, oh my god, I have to sit here forever to go through the lag. We'll be back in just a moment for the VOD once we actually get this game up and running again.